Don't do it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Northern Brewer HQ in lovely Roseville. I'm here with coworkers Abby and Troy. I am Chip. It is, you don't know this, but outside the window, it's a lovely autumn day here in Minnesota, which makes us think
Snow's coming.
blame this guy. It makes me think pumpkin beers or pumpkin spice everything, PSE, as I like to say. You got the pumpkin spice lattes. I had pumpkin spice Cheerios for breakfast.
You brought us a pumpkin spice Kit Kat even.
Yep.
I did. So what we're really here to do is to taste 3 variants of our very popular Smashing Pumpkin beer kit, and we put some twists on them. We made an Imperial pumpkin, we made a pumpkin spice porter, we made a pumpkin pie pastry stout. These recipes are on a blog that we will link below so that you can find them. Essentially what's going on here, it's the Smashing Pumpkin kit, whether extract or all grain, and then we're suggesting some add-ons, right, Troy?
Yeah, so the first one up is our Imperial pumpkin. We made the booziness factor go way up.
Yep.
Add a little bit of hops to combat that malty sweetness, but it turned out terrific. Not as boozy as you would think for an Imperial,
Right.
And it's only a month old, and it tastes already great.
Right. The OG on this is 1092. We put 2 Imperial flagships into it and went down to 1012. So it's at 10.5 ABV. If that's not an Imperial pumpkin, I don't know what you're looking for. But so who is this beer for? What occasion is this beer for?
Well, we were talking about it earlier, and you could definitely age this for a long time if you wanted to save it. But I would seriously drink this right now. I mean, this is a great beer. Be perfect for the holidays. If you want to brew it, you're probably a little quick to turn for Thanksgiving, but maybe for Christmas this year, you could have this, just as a nightcap and something. You wouldn't want to drink it all day on Christmas Day, but maybe,
Maybe you would.
maybe you would. Depends on your family.
You might would.
Yeah.
Depends who's showing up. We kind of noted that, so we brewed these barely a month ago in mid-September. Surprisingly not that hot and solventy, but it's definitely got booze warmth. You can feel it kind of warming your cheeks a little bit.
Just a little bit, and really, I feel like only in comparison to the other two.
That's true.
Like if I was having it by itself, I probably wouldn't pick that up. But then having it after, these two are just like a lot smoother. Then you pick it up.
Our coworker William noted that the spice actually seems lower than in the standard version, just because it's kind of mellowed out within all of this other extra maltiness, extra booziness. Yeah, and we should note, these are the extract versions that we brewed, and we did late edition extract on almost all of them, which isn't necessarily have the recipes written, but, and you can see by the final gravities that I think that helped. So let's go to the middle beer. This is our pumpkin spice porter, 1054 to 1010, so about 6% ABV. Really just a porter version of the Smashing Pumpkin.
It's a little hard to judge this because it's probably like a normal beer, just like our Smashing Pumpkin recipe, but slightly darker and maybe a little roastier. There's a little bit
Definitely
more.
roasty.
I think we all kind of noted that it dried a little bit, and that 1010 final gravity, that makes sense, but also with the black malt, the chocolate malt, you get this bittersweet chocolate. This is almost like if pumpkin spice latte was not latte, it was just the coffee, which, I've been drinking Caribou's pumpkin coffee, and it's very much like this. It's like all the roast. It's almost like a black IPA meets pumpkin beer in a weird way.
Yeah, I don't get this strong, like, super pumpkin spice in any of these. But so if you're not a big fan of pumpkin beer, any of these would be great because the pumpkin spice isn't overwhelming, and it doesn't. Some people are just haters. They're out there like, pumpkin, you're just, Reichensgebat. And so this way you can enjoy your beer and have your pumpkin spice and not overwhelm the taste buds.
I think this one, I taste the pumpkin spice the least in this one. Just to me, it's like just the roastiness.
So I think if you're going to your point, if you're
But
going
any
for a
of them.
pumpkin beer that you want to share with people, but you don't know what side of the fence they're on, this is probably a good one because this is more almost like a coffee.
I don't think any of them taste like, oh God, I'm drinking a pumpkin pie. This is overwhelming. Like none of them are. So
We should take a break to say real quick, like pumpkin spice, yay or nay? Like pumpkin spice blank.
Nay.
Yay.
Me, yay.
All right. I'll leave. Bye, guys.
We should note at this point that our coworker William noted that both the Imperial and the Porter would be good ones to maybe play with actually having true roasted pumpkin in, whether that's all grain or in the steeping grains with your extract version. I think his point there was like, you're going to get this caramelized brown sugar. You're going to get a little more mouthfeel. This Porter drinks, I wouldn't say watery, but especially up against these other two, a little more dry.
It's thinner.
Thinner,
right?
yep.
Yeah, so to add some more mouthfeel, maybe that roasted pumpkin would help there.
Yep.
Whereas you get that moving on to the pumpkin pie pastry stout, you get so much more of that body, especially with the lactose. It's got a much richer, fuller flavor, and it finished much higher. It didn't dry out like the other two beers.
Yep.
This one actually finished at 1023, so.
Troy just said the numbers on this, 1091 to 1023, there's lactose in it, so it kind of finishes high, like pastry stouts are known to do. You fermented out 2 flagship pitches and then cocoa nibs soaked in some white whiskey, some moonshine effectively, for a couple of days, and then 2 Madagascar bourbon vanilla beans. And I mean, this is just like dessert beer. So decadent, so good. Like, this is my favorite of the 3. I think on flavor alone, my favorite of the 3 on process, I think, is this Imperial, because it's just not a hot bomb. It's impressive for only being a month old. But what do you get from this?
This
pastry?
is definitely sweeter, for sure the sweetest of the bunch, but the nose, the vanilla on the nose, I mean, it's just so gorgeous.
I feel like vanilla is what smooths it out without being just like gross sweet, without being overly sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like vanilla.
Silky, smooth,
I feel like vanilla
gross,
can kind of
sweet.
smooth anything out. Like
Yeah.
when you pair it with like something like a citrusy beer, it'll kind of give it that like nice creamsicle taste. Like I feel like it just smooths, I don't know, smooths out any beer.
It almost does like what lactose is supposed to do, but with also a little bit of flavor and character besides just numbers and like.
In the
body.
cocoa, you get an extra chocolate note, that you get that cocoa flavor in there that you didn't get maybe in the other two in the same way, that you get a little bit from the grain maybe, but this has an extra level of that.
We talked about if you're doing the all grain version, specifically the pastry stout, you might want to kind of aim pretty high on your mash temp, 168, or that's crazy, 158, 156, 158. Really get in there and let it kind of finish with this like desserts, not quite syrupy, but like this decadent, rich finishing gravity.
Crazy high.
That's crazy high.
Mash out right at the start. Just
Yeah.
go right straight to the end.
So a couple other notes we would just say, we brewed these in mid-September. It's now mid-October. I think if you're going to really brew these for Halloween, Thanksgiving, even beyond, just think ahead of time, because spice, is just as potent as alcohol can be as far as mellowing. But still consider these for Thanksgiving. I mean, this fermented really quick, really clean.
Yeah, especially with the Imperial flagship. They were done within a week. So
Yeah,
we,
super quick.
let them sit for a couple weeks, carved them up, and they've been ready to go now. And especially now, this time of year, if you want to grab a fresh pumpkin, your pumpkins are carved, you want to, roast those up and add them to a new beer, you're all set. Now's the time to brew.
What is your-
Or November 1st, my favorite is waiting till everybody is getting rid of their pumpkins. I feel like that's the perfect time instead of buying a pumpkin for like $6. So
Brewers we
tip on
do like
pumpkin
bargains.
buying.
That is Brewers' motto right there.
So which is your favorite, Abby?
Pastry stout. It's the vanilla for me.
I waffle, but I'm going to have to say the Imperial. That might be a popular choice, but it's cleaner. It's not hot. It's just really a good drinking beer. Probably a dangerous beer at 10% too.
Yeah, I would say, I want to advocate for the porter at this point because poor porter.
Give it some love.
You basically just took a coffee or a pumpkin beer and gave it a little roast, but I would agree. I think I'm going to say the pastry stout. I think that's a beer you could brew now easily still for like having on the dessert table at Thanksgiving or beyond. Nick, our coworker, was like, dude, I want this in January, February. Like when all
When
the bells and whistles and the
When
lights
there's
are
nothing to look forward to anymore.
And it makes sense. You guys are more the pumpkin spice, and this has more of that
Yeah.
character,
Yeah.
and this has probably the least amount. So it makes sense where we fell
Yeah.
on that range. Nice work, guys.
So Smashing Pumpkin beer kit, extract, all grain. If you want to make the OG, or we've got the upgrade your Smashing Pumpkin. The blog will be in the video description with these 3 recipes in PDF form. We've also got the pumpkin spice latte. Got to do it now. Pretty soon, people won't let you get away with pumpkin spice blank.
True. PSL
Until
beer.
next year. Peace out.